touch on, of course, where you, who is Lawrence, where you come from, also your work experience, your educational background. Maybe you can also talk of, you may note this so that you don't forget. Talk of your employment record. Talk of your public office, or whether you have occupied any public office before. You can also talk about the aspect of whether you are a member of a professional association or any, again, whether you have also participated in charity works or donated charity works. I want you to introduce yourself comprehensively, as much as you can. That will really assist us as part of our vetting criteria. So I want to give it to you. Feel free. Your educational background tied to the experience that you have, and mainly in relation to the docket that you have been nominated. Also, state verbatim the office to which you have been nominated. So you are free to talk to us. Please welcome and proceed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chair. My name's Lawrence Kipkoech B. I was born in a small village called Kongereng village in Kongereng sublocation, in Soliat location, Soliat ward in Soin, Sigawet sub-county. I attended my early education, nursery, in my nearby nursery school called Kongereng for 1 year before proceeding to Kipkoech for my class 1 to class 7. When my father, the late, decided to move me to Soliat to do my KCP, which I did it, and proceeded to Kaito Secondary School, where I did for my 4 years. I later on did my KCSE, and because of, I was bottoming up this, my education, because my parents were humble. I had to spend 2 years at home. Then later I joined our nearby college here, Kericho TTC, for my certificate course, which took 2 years. And then later, after graduation, I was transferred to Chemamulpi Primary School, where I taught for a year before it was moved to external. That was an external transfer to Pomet. I realized Chemamulpi is in Pomet County. But after 1 year, I was transferred again to a small school in Kipkoech East called Condament, where I again stayed there taught for 1 year. And then I had to sort for transfer again to Soliat Primary School. Why was because by then my family was away. We were both in college, and my young children were still at home. So I sought for that transfer, and I was transferred to Soliat, where I did, I taught for 1.5 years. Fortunately or unfortunately, I was again transferred to the nearby primary school called Motero, where I taught for 10 years. That was when I was promoted to a deputy head teacher in the year 2008, where I served until 2015, when I was again transferred to my nearby primary school, where I've been teaching to date. Now, through my career, I later on, in 2008, I decided to up my education, and I had to go to our nearby country here, Uganda, where I pursued my degree in education, primary education degree, that is basic. I pursued it for 4 years and graduated in 2012. And later, I went to Kemi again to do my diploma in management, which I was graduated and given the same certificate after 2 years. So honorable members have been, through the chair, I've been upping my education, trying to balance with my children again, because they were in school. So after that, I have not studied for further education. I have not called for masters, and hopefully, time given, I will do so. I am married to one wife, 5 children, 3 boys, and 2 girls. 4 are grown-ups, while 1 is still waiting through CPC. Now, I'm also happy to know that, Chair, that I've also served in other duties. I am a delegate currently, from 2008 to date in Marisha, where I've been championing for teachers' welfares. I'm also the secretary to the transporters in our area. We transport sugarcane. So I'm their treasurer. I'm their secretary to that small organization. I am also the chair to our local farmers cooperative society called Congesol, where we deal with sugarcane majorly. And I also had a chance to serve from 2017 up to the last elections as in one of the NGCDF boards of sowing cigarette. So those are the other activities I've been doing, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Maybe before I continue with a few questions, I think it is in order for honorable members, if anyone has any interest on the nominee before us, so that you can declare it. Any honorable member with any interest? So silence means none. Lawrence, thank you so much for the comprehensive introduction. As I had mentioned earlier, we expected you to, of course, introduce yourself that way. Nevertheless, there are a few questions that I would like to put to you, and maybe in relation to political activities and affiliations, whether you have held any position in political party or even participated in campaigns previously or even now. That is important. Yeah, maybe you can respond to that, and then I'll take you through also. Just respond to that.
Chair, sincerely, I'm not a member of any political party, but sincerely we have, in one way, locally, we have been involving in this local politics, nonetheless. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. These are just statutory questions, which is part of our vetting criteria. So don't be surprised or shocked when you ask such questions. Just be free and be open to the committee. The other question is, have you ever been adversely associated with practices that depict bias, favorism, or nepotism in discharge of your public duties as a teacher?
No, Chair.
All right, thank you. Have you been involved in any form of charity work or pro bono or donations to charity? And if yes, maybe the nature of involvement, and if you contributed any amounts and time devoted, maybe you can share with the committee.
Chair, maybe I can say that I've been actively involved in the local Arambes at home, and maybe some charity works, like we normally find in some these commercial banks, some things placed aside. Maybe, if anything, I one day put my shilling inside there. Thank you, Chair.
All right, thank you so much. Are you a member of any professional association? And if any, you can list.
No, Chair.
Okay. Other than your educational, of course, credentials that we have seen here, you may, I don't know whether you have any honors or other awards, either you acquired through your work life or any engagement with the community.
Chair, no. Maybe the certificates have been offered just in participating in some.
Okay, thank you so much. You have submitted your CV here, and Lawrence, we have seen it, and I think we have, it includes in your CV, there are the 3 referees that you have mentioned. I want to believe that the contacts are up to date, so that should we want to communicate to them to seek clarification from your past work experience, it will be in order. I hope the contacts are up to date.
They are up to date, sir.
And do you have any objection if we make inquiries from them?
No objection at all, Chair.
Thank you so much. Lawrence, the other thing that I may ask is, given that you will be nominated as the CC for education, do you anticipate any potential conflicts of interest, if any, maybe touching on your family members or financial arrangements? If any, then you can maybe shed light, and you can tell us how you anticipate to solve such a conflict of interest.
Chair, if any, I will declare my interest on the same.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have you ever been charged in a court of law in the past 3 years, in the last 3 years?
Not yet.
Have you ever been adversely mentioned in any report, investigatory report, maybe Parliament or County Assembly or any other commission of inquiry in the last 3 years?
Not yet, Chair.
Not yet. Okay. Thank you very much. Lawrence B. Kipkoech, tell this committee your net worth. how much are you a hustler millionaire, or you are a real millionaire? Just give us a
Chair, as you correctly mentioned,
yeah.
I'm an hustler teacher.
All right. Maybe before you respond to that, you will just tell us an approximate value of how much you are worth, and if you don't mind, you break it down, because it is one of the requirements if you are nominated to this position that you should declare your wealth. Okay. So, all right, proceed.
Thank you, Chair. I'm worth 10,464,000 approximately. Mostly these are in total assets, I mean in assets and shares. I have shares in Marisha Sacco, worth 824,000. Land valued at 5 million. I have a rural house at home, worth 2 million. I have got a tractor. As I said, I'm one of the transporters of sugarcane. And my small vehicle, filter, totaling to 2,500,000. And some little cash in the bank, totaling to 10,464,000.
Okay, so you have an approximate, you have 10.4 million.
10.4 million to be precise, Chair.
Yeah. By your definition, that is a hustler teacher, as you put it. I want to agree with you.
Thank you,
Lawrence. There is one that I missed on whether you have any published writings, whether you have published an article, reports, or even an author of a book. If any, you can just mention to us.
I have not published any books, Chair. Thank you.
So thank you very much. That was our vetting assessment form. Now I will perhaps maybe before I open the floor for the members to engage with you, Lawrence B., you realize that you have been nominated to one of the key dockets in the county government. And being a distinguished career teacher, because I've just seen from your CV, maybe the thing that I'll ask you is, what this new thing or fresh idea that you will inject to this docket, given a chance, if this committee finds you suitable and the whole house approves you to be the CEC for education, libraries and culture, maybe what new thing are you bringing on our table?
To mention better future, from the experience, because I'm from the ground, and we really do engage with these ECDs and centers. The new thing and my dream is to have, if given this chance, I will indulge the house to employ, so that we can employ some more monitors in every ward. Because currently, secondly, these teachers have not been we can borrow these leaves from the primary section, because I can compare them with the both. That we normally take our teachers for refresher courses or workshops. So should you give me this chance, I'll make sure that in every ward, refresher courses, workshops are done more regularly, so that this early education is uplifted.
Okay. I hope you are aware that the Schedule 4 of our Constitution 2010 bestows the function of education, and mainly only pre-primary education, that is the ECD, village polytechnics, home craft centers, and childcare facilities. So with your experience down there at the county level, at the ground down there, maybe tell us that one main challenge that village polytechnics face at the grassroots.
Again, Chair, the village polytechnics, of course, we have got 12 currently functioning and one at Kamineyo, which is not yet complete. But I think the baseline of all is the same. Now, the main problem facing now these village polytechnics is the competition with TTIs. There is a stiff competition with the TTIs, so that TTIs normally provide several courses, of course, quality courses, and they normally give them a lot of incentives. While, as compared to ours, we need to up our course, because currently the teachers manning these training colleges are not enough, and they are not properly trained. Should you give me this chance, Chair, I will ensure that the appropriate teachers are posted to these training schools.
Honorable Chair, I just want to interject.
Yes, please.
What the nominee is saying is that we do not have enough ECD teachers. So I want to pose the question, how many ECD teachers do we have in our county?
To the nominee? You are posing the question to the nominee?
No, yeah, the nominee.
Okay, unless you have done your research, then you can answer that.
Surely. Chair, through Chair, I think the small research I have on our debate is that we have got around 1,200 ECD teachers, to be precise. And all have not been confirmed to date. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. I want to open the floor, and
so you need.
I want to give you so that now that you are the chairman education, and there is potential nominee here, I want to give you that opportunity so that you can perhaps engage with him. Proceed, the Honourable Member.
Okay, thank you, Chair. First of all, Chair, let me take this opportunity to congratulate the nominee for making it this far. I know it wasn't easy. There was a lot of competition, but we want to thank you. The issue of the ECD teachers, you said you have 1,200. So my question is, how much do you still need so that at least you employ all those that are needed? Secondly, where do you get this budget? What is the Kericho County government wage bill as we speak? And what is the total exposure if you want to confirm all the 1,200 that are already engaged under contract? What is the total exposure? Thirdly, are you aware of the legislations that has been passed by this county assembly concerning the early childhood education? Fourthly, how are you going to make sure that the schemes of service for the ECD teachers has been implemented to the letter? Then, more importantly, I wanted to know the results of Kongere and primary, because that is where you deputize. If I can get results from 2015 to 2022, where you've been the deputy, because that might reflect on even your performance at that level. If you will perform well, or put our county to the next level. Then going by your CV, I saw you went to Kampala University. So I was worried, why didn't you go to any university in Kenya? Why Kampala? Because you've always had Kampala as issue, so I don't know. Why did you decide to go to a university in Uganda? Chairman, finally, before other questions, are you aware that we have a county bursary act? And how are you going to make sure that those funds are released at the right time to the needy learners? Also, I was now worried, Chairman, when I went through the CV of our nominee, that hobbies and interests, that the nominee, our block of a nominee for education, likes traveling to new places and listening to music, and these are nominee, for education. So I was worried that we might have the wrong person being in charge of education in our county. And it is only in one line, Chair. These are we are dealing with someone who is going to head education in our county. So those are my worries. Finally, Chair, is about the library. What plans do you have in place now that the library has been devolved to the county government? What plans do we have in this, especially the library that used to be the National Library? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, the Honorable Cheriatbet. I think maybe you can respond to that, and I think the one that is concerning the Honorable Member is about the music. Probably you may also tell the committee whether you are a good dancer. But having said that, I guess it is part of social services, the Honorable Cheriatbet. So please, Lawrence, you can respond to that.
Thank you, Chair, for supporting me in that field. I've said that Beth has really highlighted about the ECD teachers. But well, I'm aware that 1,200 have not been confirmed. But the budget, I know the budget, I don't know whether, after I've Googled, I found that the budget given to this department was 649 million. 404 was for recurrent, while 244 was for development. So I know that there must have been a myriad of problems in facing ECD teachers.
The Chairman, something, Lawrence, you need to clear. You're talking about the budget. What did you say about the budget?
No, I've said allocation given to.
Allocation given?
Yes.
Is that how much?
It was 649 million.
Okay, so.
Yes.
Okay, proceed.
Yeah. So I'll say that with the help of this Honorable House, I think we can also see ways of absorbing,
Chairman,
absorbing this.
it is very good. It's also very important since we are unanswered. Where did you get the 649 million, Lawrence? The source. Where is the source of your information? Sorry to ask.
Yes, through Chair, I think I have said before that I Googled.
You Googled?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you got it from Google?
Yes, that is where I got the information.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, you know, honorable members, being an educationist,
Well,
of course, one way of getting information is through Google search.
yes.
And I think the nominee is not out of order from where he got his the budget. The only thing is that maybe we need to find out whether that is the budget for this year or for previous years, or perhaps it is a combination of maybe 2 or 3 financial years, something like that. But on that note, I want to believe again it's both recurrent and development. That is why he's giving us such a figure.
Chair, let me also ask the nominee, when he means the budget, is it the budget for our county or for the national, for the government, for the whole country?
No, it is for our, through the chair. I think it's for our department.
So in the Google, okay, the PFM Act is very clear on budget making process for counties. We have the annual development plan, we have the CFSP, then we have the budget. Now, in the Google, which document did you use to arrive at the figure that you're talking about, the 649 million?
Well, through chair, I think maybe the term may have confused, but I had to log in into the website of our county, and that is where I got the information. Sorry for maybe the slip of the tongue.
Okay.
I really want to support the nominee. The budget is close to that figure, so probably either he has an approved version or the one that was submitted earlier, because if you can look back, I've just Googled also myself, and I have gotten one for 2021, 2022, and the total figure is 686 million for 2021, 2022. So I want to agree it totals both recurrent and development. So the nominee is right, and I want to, this is the way to go, to Google search, because you see, it also tests our systems, whether the county government publishes the right information. Because where else would we have expected him to get the information, yet he is not the employee of the county government? So we ought to be fair enough to the nominee on that aspect. And I want to congratulate you on behalf of the appointment committee. That is very good work. To proceed and respond to the other questions.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I think I may proceed. I'll say that given a chance, I will take some help from the relevant committees so that we can see ways and means of employing these 1,200 ECD teachers. But I know money may be a challenge. If it becomes so, I think we are going to employ them in shifts so that we see, so that other development also may not be let down. We can let some of these ECD teachers according to their performance. I've told you that some are not even attending their classes and whatever. So according to, and from their performance, I think those who normally attend school should be given the first preference of employment. Again, I think he has talked about legislation.
Chairman, sorry to interject.
Honorable Chichir, is it on what he is?
Yes, what he's explaining.
What he's explaining. All right, you can say.
So he's the nominee is proposing that the county government of Kericho, as they plan to employ teachers on permanent and pensionable basis, is to employ in phases. And the best is proposing is that we look at the ECD teachers who attend school on time, who are doing very well. And you are the one who is also telling us that we need to employ monitors. So what parameters or how will we gauge the teachers who are doing well, the teachers who report? Where will we get this information? Because we may discriminate on the basis of, how will we get this information that so-and-so reports on time?
Chair, as I said before, these ECD teachers are under the masses of primary schools. So the whole information is with the head teachers. So to say the truth, in fact, when they are doing their normal staff meetings, they normally call these people. They put these teachers at 1. So to get full information, you can get it from the current head teachers, and they'll never lie. That is the sort of information you can get currently.
Now, Chairman, let me again beg to interject. I think, Mr. B, are you also aware that there are primary schools that have dispersals, ECD centers? I mean, you were teaching in Kongeren. Then there is an ECD center. The mother school is Kongeren, but it is situated elsewhere, not far from your school. Such schools are all over this county. So if that is the model you'll use to hire these teachers on a permanent basis, how will those in those dispersal centers be monitored? Because they are equally expected to be hired on permanent and pensionable basis. Because the head teacher is not there to supervise them, they are on their own. And I can give you 2 examples in my ward. There is an ECD center around Sigawet, a dispersal of Kabilieli Primary School. There is an ECD center around Kiptere, a dispersal school of Kapsewa Primary School. Those ECD centers are small, but they are running on their own because the mother school is far away from where they are. If we use that model you are giving us now, then it means those teachers may not be confirmed anytime soon, because they may not be in close they may not be monitored closely by their mother schools. Please, can you elaborate on that?
Through Chair, Honorable Ogonyi, I think you are right. I also concur that there are some ECD teachers which may be away from the current primary schools. But to the best of my knowledge, no single, to the best of my knowledge, and I stand corrected, no single ECD center is not attached to any primary school, unless otherwise. Because in the case of Kongere, we have got about 4 dispersals, and all are attached to the mother school. So the head teacher is every now and then concerned about what the activity is going on in the dispersal nursery school. So the only information we can get, the best information, because they cannot cheat, is by the head teachers of primary school. Because even currently they are doing the administration and everything. Even the data and everything is done by the primary schools.
Yes, the Honorable Chair.
When these teachers were employed, Chairman, because the county had teething problems by that time, all the ECD teachers were attached. They were under their head teachers. So if they are not reporting to work on time, then the laxity lies on the head teachers, and by extension, their deputies. And you were one of the deputies of those schools. So those ECD teachers, as it is, the arrangement that is there currently is they are under their head teachers. That is why the head teachers normally give returns to the county. So do you want to confirm to this committee that the head teachers do not supervise those CCD teachers, and by extension the deputy, because you are a deputy of one of those schools? So are you confirming that you are failing to supervise just an ECD, 4 or 5 ECD teachers in your school and dispersal? Thank you, Chair.
Honorable members, there were some, I think, responses that the nominee needs to respond to. I just want to request, perhaps maybe he dispense of those ones, and then we'll take another round, even if it is a rejoinder, so that we can have we can make progress. Please, you can respond to whatever you have not responded.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I think to answer Honorable Pett, the current question he has asked is that, well, the administration, as I told you, lies squarely with the head teacher and the deputy. But this has been done over some time. That is why I was bold to say that there have been laxity. We do, even if you do go to our our logbooks, we have been indicating this. But we only lack somebody to come and collect the data from. However, we have been passing this information to our seniors. And I want to confirm that every report is within the from the zonal level to sub-county level, should you want to get this information. Thank you, Chair. So another question was about the performance of Congering. Chair, given the time I was not prepared for this, I will maybe request that I answer this next time, because I don't have correct information, because I swore to say the truth and the only truth.
Yeah, and that is the spirit, Lawrence.
Yes.
I'll direct that maybe you provide that one to the clerks. Those are additional information. For that, maybe Sharon, who is the deputy clerk, you will liaise with her on the same. Yes, the honorable. Yeah.
On performance. Apart from performance of the school, because you have told us that you are unable to tell us your performance or the performance of the school, and yet you are number 2 in command. Mr. B, are you really sincere to this committee? Number 2, I know you must have assigned some subjects to teach in that particular school. Could you please tell this committee your performance in those respective subjects? Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Chair. The honourable member through the chair has asked about performance. The same question has been asked, but I would say sincerely that the performance of my current primary school is doing very well. From the time I arrived and I was posted to currently, to the current time, they are doing good to some extent. Now, on
what is your mean score? Your mean score as a school last year?
Last year we had a mean score of 265.
And your performance?
That is the performance.
No, in the subjects you have been assigned to teach.
Yes, I was assigned to teach. I've been teaching mathematics.
Mm-hmm. What was your MISCO?
Yeah, my MISCO has been 55.
Yeah?
I've been improving from 55%. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Yeah, can we, on the manager, can we allow him to please respond to what you have not responded to, or you have responded to everything?
Maybe, Chair, I was asked about the KIU, Kampala International University, the place I joined, why I had to go to camp. Sincerely, I had gotten admission to pursue my education at Nairobi University. That was in the year 2002. But because I had some other obligations, and to say the truth, by then I was held up. I had 4 children in secondary school, so I could not afford a Kenyan fee, because you realize the Kenyan fee was 60,000 per semester. So by then I could not afford to pay. So since Uganda by then was a bit cheaper, I opted, because I was yearning for higher education. So I opted to move to Uganda, where I used to pay 25,000 per sem. So I saw it was cheap, so that I could be able to handle my 3 children by then who were in Kericho High School, Moiti girls, and by then another one at Chemeli, which was very expensive to handle. So I found it easy and cheap to take them all, because equally I wanted to go to school, and I never wanted my children to drop out of school. So that is why the reason why I had to do that.
Maybe on that, nevertheless, honorable members, and that one, Honorable Cheriot Bid was the one who was asking. I have also realized, and I have also seen it in your academic credentials. There is a letter from Commission of Education, and so, honorable members, that is from you, it is available in the file that was circulating here. So, and he has ably explained, and in any case, this is a free society. We had the nominee before you, in fact, schooled in various countries outside the country. So, again, I want to commend you, because at least it's regional, and we expect that should you be approved, the Uganda, we hope that you will share the experiences that the Ugandans from Uganda and add input to this county government. So please respond to other questions.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair, for that input. I only wanted to add that because you have really elaborated about it, about my question certificate, that after I've been awarded that degree, as a culture, our culture in foreign students, we normally go and equate it. So I had to rise to Kikiri in Nairobi, where I did the equation, and it is before you. Chair, Honorable Beth asked about the hobbies, that I like traveling, and music. Well, traveling is good. I must appreciate, and I'm not ashamed to say so. Even if should you approve me into this docket, I would like to say that I'll be traveling a lot into your various wards to check development of the same. So maybe traveling is traveling. Unless
let the nominee finish. Finish, please.
I'm sorry if I offended you, Honorable Pay, through the chair.
Point of order, Chair.
But
Traveling can never be traveling, Chair.
It's okay.
Traveling to new places, Chair, and listening to music.
Yes, Honorable Chair, but he has indicated that he will be traveling to your wards. So I think that is why, whether you travel to the US, and by the way, should you be approved, please be informed that there is also potential trip outside the country. Yes. So I still agree with you. Traveling is traveling. So please proceed.
Thank you, Chair. So music. I don't know. Music is good. It is healthy. I think you must admit that. That Honorable Chair, even after you have retired now, I think you'll go for a soft music also.
And that is why there is even music festival.
Thank you,
Mr. Chairman. So let me ask, Chairman, vocational training is actually a devolved function.
Honorable Paul, let's please hold on to your question first. Let him complete the round of questions that he had. We'll give it to you. Please finalize first on what you were trying to say, and if there's anything else, you finalize everything.
So maybe I think I feel about music. So let me go to libraries, as asked by the honorable member. What plans do you have for libraries? As you are all aware, that the libraries were recently devolved. I have to acquaint myself with the same because the best of my knowledge, I know the only library we have is the one we have across. And as we make plans to do more in our regions, start with regions before we go to wards, should you approve me into this department, I'll see to it that we reform the current one and purchase more materials, in fact, to the current standard. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, the Honorable
Chair,
Paul.
I just confirm something, Chair.
Yeah.
What the nominee has just told us, their names of everybody's and their contacts. I've made a call. He said the MINISCO of the school, of course, is a commendable one. The MINISCO is 256, but you said the MINISCO is 265. So would I be wrong if I say the nominee is lying and he's under oath, Chair? Because that's what I've just made a call and they said.
Thank you so much, the Honorable Chair. Of course, you note what I had said earlier. The directive that I had gave on the same is that perhaps he provides written evidence to our deputy clerk so that we can confirm that. And he said 256 and he said 265. I guess if that is the case, maybe then that is just a small margin of error. And I want to believe you took an oath, or you can confirm to this committee that you are lying, Lawrence. Is it true?
No, Chair.
Yeah, you gave. I want to believe you gave the information in good faith.
In good faith.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Paul Chirchir, and then I'll give to Honorable Anita.
Thank you very much, Chair. That could be also an approximation. 256 is near 265. So, my question to Lawrence, I haven't told you congratulations on being nominated to this position. Vocational training is a devolved function. We have vocational training colleges in the county. For example, in Kapsoit, we have Kapsoit, which is also known as Kipsamamgut Vocational Training College. Initially, it used to be called Village Polytechnics, but it was changed. Now, it specializes on automotive engineering. Then we have Chemosot, which specializes in a certain activity. Then we have Chebwagan, which specializes in a certain activity. Quite a number in the county. Do you know how many polytechnics do you know and their specialization, if you know of any? Number two, the Department of Education has several issues. In fact, it's the department that has a high number of pending bills. I'm not sure about the amount, but I know that the number of ECDs that have been built, quite a number are not complete. Some have been paid, some have not been paid. Now, do you know the number of ECD centers in the entire county? Please give us the number if you know. What will you do to address such a challenge? Number three, an ECD center to be called an ECD center. What does it have? Is it a classroom only plus the lavatories, or it includes the PlayStation? What, for an ECD center to be complete, would you tell us what it should have? Number four, we have children from very vulnerable families. Some cannot afford 3 meals a day. And as a county, we want to allow all children from all backgrounds to be able to attend ECD or early childhood so that they are able to get education. What would you recommend to the Department of Education on maybe food, to supplement food? Would you recommend that they be given a packet of milk, or what would you recommend so that as we allow the students or the pupils to come to school, we also need to check on their health? And then finally, instructors, this is for number one now. Instructors in most of our polytechnics, they were devolved, but most of them are not on the payroll for the county. How will you address such anomalies so that the instructors for the polytechnics get to the system so that they are also paid? Thank you, Chairman.
Chairman, a question.
Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa Maritim, and then you can respond to the two honorable members.
Thank you.
And after that, I earlier indicated that we should give to Honorable Anita. Maybe perhaps we'll give to Anita, and then he can respond to the three set of questions.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'm asking Lawrence, what is your take on ECD classrooms constructed then condemned immediately after completion because they are unfit for use, especially in my area, Gypsyon Ward? What will you do? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Anita.
Thank you, Chair. To the nominee, I think my question, I'll be brief. As the going says, or the saying goes, that education is an equalizer. I'm looking at the fact that the government talks about 100% transition. but in reality, most of the children who don't qualify to maybe join universities, we expect that they transition to the vocational training colleges. I don't know how much or how much you understand about the current operations of the VCT or VTC, vocational training colleges, because initially there was a funding that was coming from the government, I think about 15,000 Kenya shillings. But from the year 2020, I think it was stopped. And most of the parents are not actually able to maybe take the children who are not able maybe to transition to university and not able to pay that or the amount that the VTC is expecting from them. As you sit or as you qualify to be the CC for education, these are areas that I would like to hear your insights on, since once we've encouraged our children to finish Form 4, if they'll not be able to join any other institution, then I don't think we've actually done what is expected of us. So I don't know what plans you have, you might share on possible, what are some of, what would you do differently, just to ensure that each ward will have the children transition to the technical institutions that are within maybe the sub-counties, with the support maybe from your office. And just lastly, some of the things that I was able to learn when I was moving around during my campaigns is that in this era, some children still don't have classrooms or good learning environment, especially the young ones, the ECDE. Where you sit, I know those are some of the things that we will be looking into, ensuring that the beginning of this education of these children actually are getting the best. So maybe you'll share with us some of the measures you'll put in place to ensure that every other child out there who's starting the education is actually not, is actually getting the best. And just as I finish, it reminded me of a case I had in my ward the other week. Again, it came up when I was moving around, and I happened to go to a village that children were being taught at a tree, a certain tree, and they kept telling me that they want us to build an ECD in that area, that someone had donated a land. The other day when I followed up with the right office, it was interesting that the officer, the zone officer or the division officer was not even aware that some children were being taught somewhere else. And when he made a call, he was told of, her teacher who was hired at some point and told to, to manage an area. And no one was actually supervising. The same issue we've talked about. The teacher, the feeder school, head teacher was supposed to maybe be the person to give report that there are children who are being taught in a tree as they wait for a classroom. But unfortunately, it looks like some of, the devolved ECD is actually neglected out there. And, a teacher could earn a salary, but what is happening with those children who are not getting not being taught in the right environment? And I remember asking if they're even getting any books, any support, because if they're being taught outside the area that the administration knows, for example, what is happening. So I just want to wrap up by saying we have gaps that needs to be looked into. Maybe you'll just share a system, a robust system that you might be able to employ to ensure that you'll be able to understand what is happening across. Actually just have them in your fingertips and know what is actually happening with the ECDs. It comes to better environment, having the ECD. I know we have schools that the parents have paid for the ECD teachers for the longest time. I remember meeting a lady who's been teaching at ECD for almost 30 years. And she was asking me, I don't know what is happening with the hiring system, because every time there's a position, she doesn't get, and she was introducing me to some of the teachers whom she taught at the nursery level, and they're now employed, and she's still out there. So as we also look at some of the ways we'll use maybe when employing, I know we've been given a mandate to do confirmation of about 3 teachers, the ECD teachers. What are some of the things we will look into when it comes to actually being fair enough to those who've been in the system for 10 years, for 15 years, to give them a chance to be able to actually be employed by the county government? Thank you.
Chair, let me ask a question. Allow me to ask one question. Thank you very much, Mr. Lawrence, and also I congratulate you for getting the opportunity to be nominated now. I would like to ask, I know, you see, for ECD to succeed, we will need the stakeholders that are involved in running the ECD center. Apart from the county government, we have key people who are on the ground. That is the parents, teachers, and the students. How will you ensure that there is a proper coordination of the community, the teachers, and the parents, so that ECDs are able to succeed? Again, because we need ECDs is a foundation of education, is ECD. Let me ask you, do you think the county government should equip with proper facilities to aid in improving education and learning process of the child? And do you think you can classify the type of facilities that young children require, especially at this age and time? I would also briefly like you to comment about CBC. Thank you.
Honorable members, note that those are your last
comments.
interactions and comments.
Thank you, Chairman. Very quickly, Lawrence, and you need to indicate this because we'll not be able to ask you again. I want you to, when you get to answer, can you tell this committee the feeding program? We want to keep these ECD kids in school longer than they are now. You know, most of these public schools, the ECD kids go home by 11, while those in private, they go home at 3. Do you think if budgetary allocation to keep these kids in school should be in place? Please, can you tell this committee? Then number 2, if you tell us that you want to confirm the 1,200 only, and I can tell you that number is even inadequate, because we have so many ECD centers without ECD teachers hired by the county. So can you tell us the exact number that is needed for that the centers to run as expected? And then lastly, you know, Mr. Lawrence B, your immediate boss is your head teacher. The head teacher reports to a certain officer under TSC, and then that officer reports. There is that hierarchy. Do you know, as it is now, that ECD teacher shouldn't even be reporting to you or that head teacher in a school? Because one, education, the primary education is not devolved. It's only ECD center. Do you think we should be having, do you think we should be having a structure as a county government where we have officers right from the ward to the sub-county and to the county? Because at the moment, the arrangement where the head teacher supervises the ECD teacher is not really that, it is not the structure that should be in place. We will have to have, and lastly, as a comment, not even as a comment, bursary fund has been there from 2014. But even then, we still have irregular allocation of bursary to date, despite the fact that we have a law in place. What could be the problem? And then lastly, this is a challenge to you. Should we confirm you as the CEC for education? I want you to benchmark with those counties that are offering a bursary and scholarships, because Kericho County has not done that yet. Yet we get a location equivalent to what those counties are getting. Thank you, Chair.
Maybe you can respond to that and be brief and precise to the point, please, Lawrence.
Thank you, Chair. I will start with Honorable Chirchir, I think. Honorable Chirchir, through the Chair. He sought to note the number of ECD and VCT the VCTs we have in our county. I'm aware of 12 which are currently functioning, and one which is incomplete in Soliad Ward. Kaminayo. VCT. Now, VTC, sorry. It's very confusing. Now, you also sought to know about the pending bills.
What some of them specialize in, like I had mentioned, Capsoid specializes in automotive engineering. How about those other ones? What do they specialize in?
Through the Chair, I think as far as I'm concerned, I'm yet to familiarize myself with the same. But as you have said, Samumbut is automotive. Kiptere, an older one, has been based in carpentry, masonry, and automotive, sort of. To be sincere, given the chance, I think I will be visiting others so that I may acquaint myself with the same. Now, according to from the pending bills we have, you are right, Honorable Jichir, when you say that we have got enormous and a very heavy pending bills. Now, I'm happy to report that, as you are all aware, members, honorable members to the Chair, that this there is a task force which has been put in place to look into this. Now, when they come with recommendations, of course, are fair recommendations, we are going to see to it that some of these bills, I cannot say maybe all of them, are cleared. You also talked about whether I know about the number of VCDs. Yes, currently in our county we have an approximate of 800 ECD centers, and of course, as Honorable Anita has mentioned, I concur that most of them, again, are still hiding under bushes. Some, like especially in our lower part of soil. I'm also Soin Ward, Soliad Ward, part of Ainamoi Ward, and I think also Honorable Rogoing can bear witness the lower parts of Sigawit Ward. You find that some of these ECD classes are done under some trees, funny trees around there. So well, I'm aware there are about 800. To be called, you also saw to that for an ECD center to be called an ECD center, what does it entail? Honorable members to the chair, for an ECD center to be called an ECD center functional, it must be having the right facilities. One of them is a classroom, proper equipped classroom with tables and chairs for both the children and the teachers, good learning teaching materials, playthings outside the ACD classes, and of course enough teachers to man them. You know, the teacher pupil ratio should be 1 to 25. That one is, we can say that one is moderate, but we have not reached the standard. So that one to be called an ACT teacher is that one. I may put it that way. Now, for the vulnerable families and children, kids ought to know how we can help these families, and of course to move up their children to school. Now, in the suggestion, you also suggested that could we provide food and milk. You know, food is a source, and especially in the lower part of Sweden, food is really a necessity. So should we provide, surely, I agree with you, that should we provide this, and even in all other centers, should we provide food and maybe milk for nutrition, it will help up mob the children. You know, when they come to school and eat, you know, most of them does not even, they only have a meal, 1 meal per day. So when they come to school, they will see the school as the first refuge they will go so that they can get food. Milk is good for nutrition. You know, most of them I'm sorry to use our area, that most of the children are malnourished because of they don't get enough nutrients. So should we provide this? I agree that with the help of you, honorable members, should I come and maybe ask for this? Please assist me so that we can. Should you vote me in? Should you nominate me into this office? I will try my level best so that we can see to it that we squeeze the budget. We can borrow and live from our neighboring county of Bomet. I am told they give their children, nursery children, milk 3 days a week. So if possible, honorable members, we can even start with 2, at least, so that we can provide them. Honorable Martin, through the chair, asked whether I am aware about the construction of the ECD classes constructed poorly, in his word of Jefferson. Well, Chair, this is a question asked by the honorable member, but I think it will apply to all the wards, because in our area, also for Soliat ward, I also witness, I can bear witness that there are some ECD centers which were poorly constructed. So yes, I'm aware. But should you nominate me inside this department, I'll try my level best to see to it that the value of this, in fact, the constructors are to blame for the same, because maybe they are using poor materials without the following proper late regulations or what. So I'll make sure that I'll do that. Anita, Honorable Anita, through the chair. So, yes, Anita, I can agree with that. Education is an equalizer. And you have also mentioned that 100% transition, there has been 100% transition to these vocational schools before, these vocational training colleges before. But currently, the numbers decline. Well, this may have been attributed to maybe poor uptake in these vocational trainings, and also the competition, as I said before, with the technical TTIs we have in all over. So I will, should I have this chance, I will make sure that I also up my game and ensure that these vocational training centers are provided with the proper materials to be used, and properly train trainers so that they can encourage other learners to come and study. As you are aware that in the Governor's Manifesto, it was so clear that in every ward, it's going to give a chance to 100 youths to be sponsored. They'll sponsor 100 youths in every ward to these VTCs. So that will again encourage most of them to join. And given this chance, honorable members, I will also enhance participation so that members of the public are made aware about this offer. Because some of the young men are still idling with borders and so forth without proper trainings. I think I've answered about those being taught under the twist that are, but I think you are approaching it in another way. But given this chance, I'll make sure that we give preference to those schools, ECD classes, ECD centers without classes. Those are normally taking their classes under some funny twists. So also, monitors should be given. Yes, I appreciate the fact that you say the children are left unattended. As I said, given this chance, I will try that every ward, with the help of this house, so that we can employ 30 ward inspectors to be inspecting this service. You also mentioned about that there are some teachers who have been teaching for so long, as long as 10 years. Honorable members, I will be also asking for a teamwork in this so that we can map out, know those who have been teaching for a long time and have not been confirmed, so that they can be given the first priority. Majority leader also sought to know what I will do so that I can involve the cooperation of teachers, parents, and other various stakeholders. And then what I am going to do to improve general teaching and the teaching of the learners. As a matter of fact, I'm going to, given this chance, I'm going to work with line departments, like the Department of Public Service, so that the ward coordinators currently idling in the field are used to move up the 190, so they can meet occasionally in one level, zonal levels, so that they are told about the needs and maybe requirements of this early childhood education. Now, what is really needed in these nursery schools, and they call it ECD classes, are generally materials to be used. I can bear witness that currently they are depending wholly on the primary schools for everything. Chalks, manila papers they use, the playthings, even the food. Because normally most of these public schools have introduced the feeding programs. So like in my school, we have been incorporated, went up to the nursery schools. So I'll make sure that these teaching learning materials are available in all, because these are the essentials anyway, in all the primary, in all the ECD classes. Honorable, going through the chair. So to know about the feeding program, yes, Honorable Rogonya, I concur with you that this is a necessity, and given this chance, we are going to put this priority in place so that these ECD classes, ECD centers or children are well fed, and if anything, so that teachers can even teach for long hours, like their counterparts in private schools. Yes, you talked about the bursary funds, that there is an irregular allocation of the same. Yes, I'm aware. Because as I told you before, I was in NGCDF of Soin Sigawin. And lucky enough, I was dealing with the bursaries. And I'm happy to report that when I was in charge, we were able to disperse these bursaries well. There was no complaints, and I think Honorable Rogoing can bear me witness that we did fairly. So what I will instill in this, and I will seek the help from this House and the honorable members, is that we devolve it, we make it even go further to sub-location, as opposed to currently we are doing it in the ward level. Because when we took ours, what should I compare this? When we took ours to direct to sub-location level, it was so efficient. It became so efficient because members can easily know themselves. They will know who really are vulnerable. So, yes, members, I'm going to borrow a leaf from what we use because it was fairly a good job, fairly done in bursary disbursement. Well, if I may go further, I may say that what we used to do is that we could identify, using the same parents, the same stakeholders, because I have told you that when you go close down close to the sub-location, you will get the real information. So we did that. So we had to map out first all those who are the orphans, those who don't have parents, completely. So those ones were never feathered. We only map them. We know that there is a certain number in this ward, this ward, this ward. So from the before we disperse other bursaries, we saw the orphans first. Then we leave the rest for the committee members to vet. I am also aware that the time for committee members are over, and given this chance, I'll make the request changes and do exactly the way I've told you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dominic. Anything or? All right. Thank you so much. Okay, Honorable Anthony.
Mr. B.
As you make your final comment. Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. B, we have ECD classrooms which were built using CDF money, but they were never completed. What plans do you have for such ECD centers, so that classrooms, so that they can be completed and used by the children? Number two, library services, or library has been devolved. This one I just want to bring to your attention that we have a library in Kipkoech West constituency in Kipkoech town, which was built by CDF, but it was never completed. So I'm humbly requesting you that if in any case you are given this chance, please visit that facility and ascertain the works that are required to be done, and also arrange for modalities of equipping the same. The last one, you have talked of scholarship. His Excellency the Governor was passionate on the same. What mechanisms or what plans do you have so that the same can be achieved? Thank you.
Your final comment. Your final comment, and then you will respond.
My final comment, Mr. B, we want to appreciate the time you have taken with us, and at the same time, I want to wish you the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Respond to that, and I'll give to the members for final comment.
Yes, Honorable Chair. I want to remember also to know what measures I'm going to take for the ECD classes, sorry, which were formerly constructed by the CDF, NGCDF management, using the CDF money. Honorable Member, through the chair, I am aware that there are several ECD classrooms constructed by the CDF, but they have all stalled. I have an example at Kipkoech, which were formerly constructed by the same, and I think we may be having some across the county. Given the chance, I will seek some advice on the same, because this one is a technical issue, I must admit. And with the help of these honorable members again, I think we are going to sort the problem out. We are also that we let those classes to be used. I know CDF have got its own regulations, and also the county government have got its own. So marrying the same has been a problem over time. I know it is a thorn in the flesh, I admit, but going forward, I think we are going to look for a solution. Library services, thank you, Honorable Member, through the chair. I wasn't aware about any other library service. I must admit that. But given the chance, maybe it is not only Kipkoech, but maybe there are some again in the county. So I'll be traveling a lot to know all about this. As concerns the scholarships, our Excellency, the Governor, was very passionate, as you have said, that the scholarships are given to every youth, all the 100 youths per award. And we are going to do it fairly and squarely, without any discrimination. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Lawrence. Final comments from members. Honorable Maritim.
Thank you, Chair. Lawrence, I wish you success.
Thank you very much, Honorable Paul Chichir.
Thank you very much, Chairman. I do not have much to say. I just want to wish the nominee the very best in his future endeavors. Thank you.
Honorable Roban.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. B, thank you for the time you've given us, and thank you for the engagement we've had. I wish you well. Should you be confirmed, we'll work together. Thank you.
Honorable Majority.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Lawrence, I would like to thank you for the patience and also answering the questions. Wish you well, and thank you very much.
The Honorable Dominic.
Thank you, Chair. The nominee, Mwalimu, you said you are a teacher. When the chairman asked you, are you in any professional, you said no. I thought most of the teachers are in Kenya National Union of Teachers, or that is not a professional body, maybe. But if you are lucky to be passed by this house, can you tirelessly work on the issue of bursary? There is a lot of suffering in our villages. There is a lot of students who are at home now for lack of school fees, and most of them are in day school. Work also on the ECDs. My colleagues have talked a lot about ECDs. You said you like traveling. Can you transfer our villages? Our young children are learning in a very bad condition, and it is very sad. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, the Honorable Anita.
Thank you. Just want to wish you well. And it's my prayer that you've given a chance to work for the people of Kericho County, that you will give it all. Education sector is wanting in regards to the status of Kericho County. And if we don't educate our people, as much as we want to fight poverty, we cannot fight poverty if we are not providing the best education. And I want to believe that you've given this opportunity, you will do your best to take our young children, or to provide them with the best as they grow to other classes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Before I make my comments, Lawrence, let me give you an opportunity. Your final word to this committee, please, if you have any.
Oh, thank you, Chair. First and foremost, I want to say thank you very much, honorable members, for this lovely engagement. I've really enjoyed your company, I must admit. Secondly, may I thank His Excellency the Governor for according me this chance into this department, to head this department. Otherwise, I want to wish you also well as you retire. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lawrence. I want to sincerely appreciate you for the time that you have, we have engaged together. I must admit that this was a very good engagement. I want to join the rest of the members of the appointment committee to wish you the very best of luck. The only thing that I'll say is that should this House approves you, Lawrence, please enroll me in your music class, perhaps, and we can dance together. If God allows you to be the CC for education, culture, library, and social services. I wish you the very best. I also wish you a safe trip back to your small village, as you put it, Kongere, and hope to see you in future. Sergeant at Arms, please escort the nominee, and we still again sincerely apologize for having you